The year was 1945, southern Egypt. A peasant, working among the rocky crevices, finds a jar buried in the earth. Inside that jar are 2,000-year-old ancient texts, written on papyrus in Coptic letters. Those who read these manuscripts are absolutely stunned, because on those pages, things are written about Jesus Christ that never made it into the Bible. And in one of these texts, there is a single sentence, a sentence that could change the course of history, shake the faith of millions, and break a 2,000-year silence. The Lord loved Mary Magdalene more than all the disciples, and used to kiss her often. It is this very sentence that birthed a question still unanswered today. Did Jesus get married? Hello, everyone. Today, I am asking you the biggest, most controversial, and perhaps the most unresolvable question in history. After watching this video, you will learn things about Jesus that you never knew before. If you're ready, let's dive in. The oldest written sources we have about Jesus are the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. In these books, you read about what Jesus ate, where he slept, and what miracles he performed. But there is one thing you cannot read anywhere. Jesus was married, or Jesus never married. A 2,000-year silence. The vast majority of Christian tradition believes that Jesus lived a celibate life. The Catholic Church considers this belief the very foundation of the priesthood. However, there is no direct verse in the Bible regarding this. This belief stems from church tradition, and specifically from the letters of St. Paul praising celibacy. Paul says, "An unmarried man is concerned about the Lord's affairs." But this is not historical proof that Jesus was unmarried. It is merely Paul's own recommendation. A striking scene in the Bible is the wedding at Cana. When the wine runs out, the mother of Jesus goes to him and reports the situation. Some researchers, questioning why a guest would be so closely involved with the wedding organization, ask the question, could this actually have been Jesus' own wedding? Although this interpretation is not generally accepted, it remains one of the biggest question marks within that silence. Mary Magdalene is the most mysterious character in the inner circle of Jesus. According to the Gospels, she is the one who stood at the foot of the cross, watched the body of Jesus being placed in the tomb, and became the very first witness to the resurrection. While a woman's testimony was considered invalid in first-century Jewish law, the fact that a woman was chosen as the witness to such a critical event as the resurrection proves her central role in the life of Jesus. So, why did the church define her as a sinful woman for centuries? In 1969, the Catholic Church officially recognized that Mary Magdalene was not that sinful woman. Was the persistence of this error for centuries a conscious choice to tarnish the image of a woman so close to Jesus? The Gospel of Philip, discovered in 1945, complicates the situation even further. The text states that Jesus loved Mary Magdalene more than the other disciples and used to kiss her often. Even the apostles ask, "Why do you love her more than us?" The Greek word koinonos used in the text can mean both friend and spouse. Although this sometimes implies a spiritual partnership in the Gnostic tradition, the connotation of the word has continued to be debated throughout history. In 2012, Professor Karen King from Harvard announced to the world a papyrus fragment with the words, "Jesus said to them, 'My wife,' written on it." This news created a massive shock. However, analyses conducted in 2016 revealed that the text was a forgery product written with modern inks. This incident showed us one thing. The issue of Jesus' marriage affects people so deeply that this topic generates enormous interest in every field, from forgery to popular culture. Famous historian Bart Ehrman states that while there is no reliable evidence that Jesus was married, It also cannot be definitively claimed that he was celibate within the Jewish cultural context. The common view among scholars is that Gnostic texts were written long after the time of Jesus and cannot be considered direct proof. The Church, however, views celibacy as a theological necessity. According to them, Jesus was devoted to all humanity, and starting a family would have limited this universal love. On the other hand, liberal theologians continue to ask the question, if Jesus was fully human, why would he be deprived of marriage, which is the most fundamental experience of humanity? In Islamic tradition, Jesus is a celibate prophet, yet some narrations suggest that he will marry when he returns to the world near the end of times. Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code novel brought this debate into the mainstream. The novel claimed that the bloodline of Jesus continues even today. Although these claims were based on forged documents, the fact that millions of people want to believe in this fiction shows the deep curiosity felt toward the human dimension of Jesus. The concept of fully human in Christian doctrine includes the suffering, the fear, and the weeping of Jesus. But isn't loving and starting a family a part of being human? If Jesus never experienced these emotions, was he truly fully human? As the mystical thinker Meister Eckhart said, God's humanity is his deepest secret. Perhaps within this secret, love and marriage also existed, but we may never know for sure. Today, we examined the silence of the Bible, the mystery of Mary Magdalene, and the lost years of history. To be honest, there is no definitive answer to this question. No archaeological discovery can currently say yes or no. However, this uncertainty makes the question more valuable. This question is actually a reflection of the question, what does it mean to be human? Jesus found love, perhaps in a family, or perhaps on a lonely path dedicated to all humanity. Both are possible, and both are human. The silence between the ages of 18 to 30, which historians call the lost years, will perhaps continue to hide this great secret within it. Do you believe Jesus got married? Is this silence a reality or a fiction? Let's meet in the comments. Which mystery should we cover in the next video? Let me know in the comments, and we will examine the one with the most votes. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.